Hello everybody, it is Tom and welcome to another video.
I've been going to some dark places. I hate it when my mind races. I've got so many.
It is my pleasure to say that this week, the Heartstopper gods have indeed blessed us. Not only have we gotten our first glimpse of Joe Locke in Agatha All Along, check out the trailer if you have not, but we also got some exclusive teaser stills from Season 3 of Heartstopper. So that is what we're going to be looking at today. We're going to be looking at them, reacting to them, discussing them, analyzing them, etc, etc, etc. So should be a fun time. And just as a warning, I have read the comics, so I will probably be talking about them. So if you do not want any form of spoilers whatsoever to what comes next or what might happen or what these pictures might be about, this is probably not the video for you. So all right. Okay, so let's get into it. So what happened was there was a scavenger hunt on Instagram this week where people were encouraged to visit the different Netflix accounts from the different countries. On those accounts, they found some numbers. Those numbers created a code, and if you input that code, you could get access to these awesome pictures, which eventually were just revealed to the world. But yeah, I actually had no idea any of this was going on because we are in a super busy time at work, so I was just working all day long, and it wasn't until I got online after work that I found out that all this had happened. So I was able to jump straight to the payoff of looking at all the pictures, but I'm sure it was a fun time for the people who were doing the scavenger hunt and actively discovering this stuff in real time. So let's look at these pictures. So I'm going to be looking at the ones that Alice has posted on their Instagram account. Now, Alice also posted these same images as an Instagram story, including text. So I have those pictures saved on my phone. So we're going to be looking at the full still on Alice's account, and then I will read to you what the comment says on Alice's story. My phone is not being helpful. Okay, hold on. All right, so let's look at the photos. So the first photo we have is a beautiful shot of Nick and Charlie gazing at each other at night. I think anyone who has read the comics immediately knew what this scene was from. So we have Nick with his hair a little damp. He's wearing a hoodie we cannot see, but I assume there is nothing underneath that hoodie and it is unzipped. Yeah, it's pretty clear that this is the scene after the shower scene. So if you're not familiar with the comics, what happens in that scene is Charlie has been trying to work up the courage to tell Nick he loves him for quite some time. And he almost does it when they're at the beach. Nick is just about to head off on vacation with his family the very next morning. So this is Charlie's last chance to say it before they're separated for like 3 weeks. So he's at Nick's house after the beach day. His mom messages him being like, oh, it's 9 o'clock, you better come home. And so Charlie's like, okay, this is it. This is the last chance I have. Nick is in the shower. So Charlie goes over to the closed bathroom door and like shouts through it to Nick, who is in the shower, like, oh, my mom said I have to go. Oh, and by the way, I love you. Okay, bye. And then just leaves. So Nick in the shower is just stunned and then like runs after Charlie and is like throwing on clothes and zooming down the stairs and like essentially runs through the streets wearing a pair of boxer shorts and a sweatshirt that is open, an open hoodie, to catch up to Charlie and tell him that he in fact loves Charlie too. So it is like a high point, like one of the best moments of the whole comic. So I'm really looking forward to seeing it. But yeah, this seems to be that come to life. So the text that Alice included with this on their stories is, I think some of you know what scene this is, huh? And yes, we do. Yes, we do know what scene that is. Okay, so moving on to the next picture, we have, so this one a bit sadder. This one breaks my heart. So we have Charlie sitting in the sunny spring kitchen looking at some food, clearly having difficulty eating that food. And the caption that Alice has given it is one step at a time. So I think from that we can assume that this is maybe after Charlie has gotten some treatment for his eating disorder and is now trying to deal with that and deal with eating healthy portions and things like that. So just looking at the picture, it makes me feel very sad because I hate that Charlie is going through this, but at the same time, the caption does have kind of a hopeful sound to it. So let us remember ultimately that as we go through the dark things that happen in this segment of the show, there's a hopeful tone to it all. Like it's dark but hopeful. Speaking of heartbreak, so this picture out of all of them hurt me the most because we have Nick on vacation in Menorca wearing like another outfit that I need to get my hands on, like that blue shirt. Like I love that shirt. For those of you who are not familiar with me and my content, basically every single reaction to Heartstopper involves me desperately wanting the clothes that Nick and or Charlie are wearing. So Nick is on the phone with Charlie and he looks absolutely like heartbroken and devastated. And this moment in the comics, like this section of the comics is just extremely heartbreaking because Nick and Charlie have been separated for the longest amount of time they have ever been since they met. Nick is on vacation with his family. Charlie is just sinking deeper and deeper into depression. Charlie is also having some issues with his mom and like trying to figure out how to tell his parents all that he's dealing with, but also being really scared to do it. And this phone call happens after a particularly bad fight between Charlie and his mom. And Charlie is essentially telling Nick here, like, I can't do it. There's no way that I can tell my parents about this. This is the moment where Nick starts to realize his love alone is not enough to help Charlie. His love alone is not enough to pull Charlie out of everything he's dealing with. Like, Charlie properly needs help. And in the comics, this leads to a conversation, like the wonderful conversation between Nick and his mom, where she says that beautiful, heartbreaking line, love can't cure a mental illness, which I think we can assume based on casting, that's a conversation that Nick is now going to have with his aunt, played by Haley Atwell. And she's amazing. I love her. I really think she's going to do a fabulous job with that. So I think it's still going to have the same amount of emotional punch. And I really look forward to seeing how they handle that. But yeah, like this moment, Nick is so far away from Charlie. He's already missing Charlie a lot. He's too far away to help. He's too far away to do anything. And even if he was there, there's only so much he can do. So I think this is a huge moment for Nick of realization and just the sadness of not being able to help someone you love. On Alice's Instagram story, there's no caption, but there is a panel from the comic where it says click, where Charlie has hung up the phone and Nick saying ... love you. Which this part, I tell you. So the next picture we have is the gang at the zoo, which this is not something, at least as far as I remember, that happens in the comics. I guess it could also be part of the Funfair Fate situation, but regardless, we have the gang posing with a photobombing giraffe, and Sahar is attempting to eat Tara's head. And I like that we have Imogen there. And yeah, the whole gang is there. Looks like they're having fun. The giraffe also seems to be enjoying themselves. So hooray. So yeah, I look forward to seeing what that is. And in general, I look forward to seeing more scenes with just the whole gang, getting more little hints of what's going on with them and hopefully more character development from all of them. And the caption that Alice has is October 3rd, please hurry up. And I agree. Please hurry up October 3rd. Next, we have Tao and Elle dancing together, or at least Elle has her arms around his neck in a very slow dancing sort of way. And the caption on the Instagram story is electricity on New Year's Eve. So apparently we are getting the New Year's Eve scene, which I haven't reread that part of the comics recently, so I will have to do that because I don't remember what happens in there. Great commentary, Tom. Ooh, it's Tom from the future. But yeah, so I did in fact go back and look at the New Year's Eve portion of the comics, and basically what happens there is Nick and Charlie go to a party, a New Year's Eve party. It's the first time that Tao and Elle and Aled and all their friends are seeing Charlie since he's been in the hospital. So it's just a very nice wholesome time of like the couple spending time together and kissing at midnight and stuff like that. But I'm very sure that the show will inject a lot more into it since, we know that the comics are a little more slice of life, whereas the show tends to, put more into every scene. So, yes. Tom from the future out. Okay, the next picture we have is Tara and Darcy standing close together, about to kiss. I love what Tara is wearing. That's a very cool kind of sleeveless hoodie thing that she's got on. And it looks like they're in a town somewhere. And the caption is, "They're in love," with a lot of exclamation points. So it does seem like Tara and Darcy have kind of mended the tension that was going on with them last season, where they're being completely open with each other now. Tara knows about Darcy's home life situation. They've exchanged "I love you," so I assume that we're going to see a lot of lovely, warm moments from them in this season, of them being just the best lesbians. The next one, we have a very lovely shot of Charlie and Isaac reading Genderqueer, which I actually have right here. So yeah, this is a graphic novel memoir by a non-binary author, and it's also, I want to say, one of the most banned queer books in the United States. So, take that as a reason to check it out. But yeah, so I love this scene where it's clear that this is the beach day, and I assume this is where everyone else has gone off to swim, but Isaac would rather sit on the beach with his book, and Charlie, at least in the comics, is hesitant to go swim because he doesn't want to take his shirt off. Nick later convinces him to just go in his t-shirt, so we'll see if they do that. Always love the bonding moments between Isaac and anyone, but especially Isaac and Charlie, and this looks like a very sweet moment, so hooray. And the caption we have here is, "Their text thread is mainly book recs, I think." Fair enough, yeah, because we do know that Charlie also enjoys reading. He has posters on his wall to some classic books. So yeah. Now we're getting down there. We have two more pictures left. Okay, the next one we have is Charlie and Tori lying in Charlie's bed together with I wonder if that stuffed animal is a souvenir from the zoo, or if I can't remember if that's been there in previous seasons or not. But I always love seeing bonding between Tori and Charlie. The Tori and Charlie scenes are some of the best in the series, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how Tori supports Charlie during all that he's going through, especially because there will be a period of 3 weeks, at least if they follow what happens in the comics, where Nick is literally not there for him and Charlie is kind of pushing away his other friends. So I could see Tori being the one to kind of step up during that time and be really the only support that Charlie has during this worsening situation. But in my mind, this scene is taking place like Charlie has had an episode, or like is feeling bad, and Tori kind of lays there with him to comfort him, kind of situation. That's what I imagine this is. It could be something completely different, but we'll see. But regardless, the caption says, "Venting about annoying family members with your sibling." So this could be happening like after Charlie has had a fight with his mom and is depressed, and maybe even right after he talks to Nick on the phone and he's kind of lying in his bed just feeling upset. Maybe Tori overheard the fight, I'm sure she did, and goes to comfort him, and they have a tender sibling moment. So maybe that's what happens there, but please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Now, the final picture, of course, was a lovely surprise. But yeah, so we have Oliver. Now, of course, in the comics, Oliver is Tori and Charlie's younger sibling, and he is lovely. Like, I love Oliver and his character and all the kind of the brightness and innocence that he brings to everything, and also the opportunity to see Charlie in a caretaking position where, like, Charlie as the older brother is really nice to see. So I understand completely why Oliver was not included in the show as Tori and Charlie's younger brother, but I love that we're getting to see a bit of Oliver anyway as cousin Oliver. So as the caption says, he is here. Obviously, a lot of people really like Oliver, and we're sad that he was not included. It's unfortunate that we won't get to see him in some of his iconic scenes, but I trust that they will make the most of the time that Oliver is there. Like, I trust that we'll get, even if it doesn't happen exactly as we might be expecting it to, I feel like they'll manage to put in some of the awesome Oliver moments that we got in the comics just in a different package and in a more temporary period of time. So really looking forward to seeing Oliver and how he fits into things. And yeah, so that is the last photo that we have there, and I'm just really excited. Like I loved looking at these photos. I loved getting a glimpse of what we're going to see when season 3 comes out in October. It's going to be difficult to watch Charlie going through terrible things and Charlie going through terrible things, and just in general. But as with the comics, like we know this is a hopeful story. We know this is about overcoming those things and using love and your own strength and therapy and help and things like that, help from other people to overcome these things. So I trust that they're going to do a fantastic job on it, and I can't wait to see it. Okay, so what are your thoughts? Which picture was your favorite of the bunch? I think for me, it's the first image of Nick and Charlie on the darkened street after the shower. I love you, but I loved all of these pics. I loved seeing all of them, and I cannot wait to see what happens in season 3 and how they weave together the show universe, the things that the show has created, the comics universe. It's going to be really interesting to see what they do with it, and I can't wait. So, all right, that's all for me. The usual reminder, I have queer books and you can buy them. So my queer young adult books, Dreamers and The Boy Who Was Kissed, recently came out, and both of them are for sale on Amazon and in various other places as ebooks and also paperbacks, so definitely consider picking up a copy. They are definitely in the vein of Heartstopper in that there is adversity, but ultimately they are hopeful, happy stories. So if you need a hopeful, happy story while you're waiting for Heartstopper, consider one of mine. Okay, that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing and liking and commenting and all the things that you do. Huge thanks as always to our patrons who are so absolutely amazing and wonderful and fantastic and spectacular and great. And a special shout out to our Nick Nelson members, Kelly Walker, Paul Z, Kent Smither, Kim Engel, Lauren Javier, and Mark Walker. Okay, have a wonderful rest of your day or night or whatever time of day it may happen to be. And I'll see you next time. All right, bye.